Hello everyone, welcome to Red Dragon Model Works. You'll have to forgive me, I got a sore throat today. I'm going to lay down some paint today. I have some light brown and I have some white. So I'm going to mix some light brown into the white to try to get a canvas look. And I'm going to lay down a base coat of canvas. And then I'm going to go over it with some black. I'd like to get these ribs here so I can show some canvas going through those ribs and around here, where he would go in and out of his plane. So if you give me a minute, I'll be right back. Let me set everything up. Be right back. Alright guys, what I'm doing is I'm just laying down the base of this tan color that I mixed up. And I'll go over that with the black. There's colors down just so I can get the highlights when I go to paint it black. So as you can see, I'm just putting first a light coat down, and then I'll go over it with a darker coat. I don't want a heavy coat of this. I just want a light coat. And then the black will cover the whole thing. Alright, brothers. I have the black on. I don't think you can see it, just subtly. You'll see the tan through the bottom there. It's not heavy. I didn't want it heavy. On the sides here, you can almost make it out. It's just a subtle. And the same thing here. The top wing, you can almost make it out. Let me see if I get some light here to show you. You can almost make that out. I'll take some pictures of it and I'll show you guys in a little bit. But you can almost make out the weathering there. And then the middle wing, you see it on the bottom down there, see it? And on the top there. Now I'm going to let this sit. I'm going to put it all together. Oh, one more thing. I ended up shooting the cowling all black. Nah, it looked nice white, but it wouldn't be right, man, because it wasn't his ship. So, his ship had a black cowling. So, I got that painted. So, let me let this sit and dry a little bit. I'll be back with the final put up. I'll put it together, shoot it with some clear, or future. Let the future sit for about an hour. I'll be back with the decals in a second. Alright, as it's quite evident, different shirt, it's a different day. I had to sit this thing down for a while. This photo etch it had me, and as Cohen said, I was making some funny noises every time I drop one of them. Again, you'll have to excuse me, I'm not feeling well today. Sore throat and stuffed up sinus. But this is where we're at right now. I have to be incredibly careful with it because the CA glue, you bump it, man, it goes everywhere. And case in point, the tail. I had it on, it fell off. So what I'm going to do with the tail is, let me sit this down so I don't smack it. I am going to drill a very small hole right in here. I'm going to add a very small piece of wire in here. Drill a hole in the actual tail of the plane and put it in. The glue's not holding it. It doesn't matter. Every time you bump it, it comes right off. So, before I do that though, I'm going to hit this with another coat of paint. We had a problem. I dropped it and I broke one of the spars there. See it? Right there. This top, well, actually didn't. What happened was this, I dropped it, but this piece here, I've had a heck of a time trying to get it to. It was bowed. It was bowed pretty impressively. I put it in hot water. Like not boiling, but hot water. Cohen's also suggested that. I wrapped it around a bottle let it sit for 24 hours. Came out great. I glued it on here, snapped. It's the pressure snapped that little strut there. Now I CA glued that. I'm going to try to sand that, hit it with some paint to see if I can cover that up. Broke my heart though, man. So, I also painted the rims. Now what I'm going to do with this though is shoot it, a coat of black over it and then chip it. My weathering effect, although I can see it, you can't really tell. So I'm going to go over those little ribs, just the individual ribs here, with like a brown, a very light brown. Give it a little, make it look a little bit. Not a lot, I just want a subtle effect there. Also, I want that on the side here. And then I'm going to hit it with Future. Get all that together. I still got to put the cowling on and the motor. So, let me get everything together, and I'll be back in a second. Alright, brothers. Last coat of paint has been done. Excuse me. And here she is. I got some light chipping on the cowling. A little bit on the tires. I don't want to overdo it. Everything's on. Let me turn this around, the camera around, and I'll get a better angle for you guys. Alright, give me a second. I got a little bit more weathering on it. And I don't know with this lighting that I have here if you guys can see that. But that's the effect I was going for. Right there. Almost a pretty weathered look. I figure with I didn't want to gloss on it, of course, because it's supposed to be canvas. She's not shiny. I figured once I throw the Future on it, and then put a little wash over it and a little weathering, she should be okay. Should tone that down a little bit, hopefully. But that's it right there. I'm gonna let that sit and dry a little bit. Yeah, it's got it all the way underneath, down there. I wanted it to look as though, you know, he's up in the air in the later stages. There's a little wear and tear, you know, from the air hitting that. So, I wanted the canvas to show through a little bit. So now I'm going to chip that a little bit. I sprayed those black. They were original silver, but I'm going to chip those also. And then get the tail on. And once we get all that done, then I'm going to shoot it with Future. And then let it sit for about an hour. And then come back and put the decals on there. So we'll be back in a little bit. Guys, she's got a few coats of Future on her. As you can see, she's shining a little bit. I might add some dull coat to tone her down. I might not. But, that's her. Now, yeah, I might have to tone her down a little bit. But I'm going to let that sit for about an hour. And then I'll come back and I'll add the decals to her. But these, right now you're getting a pretty good glare off of it, but that toned down really nice. You know, you get that little weathering effect there. So, it's pretty harsh under this light at the moment though. So, let me let that dry and I'll be right back. Alright, gentlemen, I decided to let her sit overnight. I want to be sure that Future takes a hold real good. So this is going to be it for this update. Let me go. That'll be it for this update. Tomorrow I'll update it when I have all the decals on there. I've already, here, let me show you. I've already started to cut them out. I have those are going to go here on the sides, And then there's 2 of those, 1 for each side, of course. We got them here. And then these are all his markings. Lieutenant Joseph Jacobs. These are all the markings that are going to go on there. So I'm going to let it sit overnight. I don't want to monkey with it right now. I'm going to let her sit. And then I'll finish her up tomorrow. So I'll get the microsol, the micro set, everything will be ready. Oh, well, yeah, the microsol, the micro set, get that all settled in there. I was going to add a wash to it, but doesn't need it. I was going to weather it just a little bit more. Doesn't need it. I don't want to handle it anymore, guys. I'm serious, man. I mean, every time I touch this thing, it, you know, and it's that top wing is really driving me crazy. So hopefully I added a little bit more CA glue. She's holding right now. She's doing pretty good. So I'm gonna let it sit, and I'll have those up in the morning. And once my grandson takes his nap, I'll slap the decals on, and I'll have an update. I also have a reveal here. Freddie Duarte, he sent me a bunch of kits. It was very kind of him. You know, the brother sent me a bunch of kits, and this community is very great, man. I'm telling you, you know. So, and then I'll have some reveals of those too, also, while this is drying tomorrow. You guys have a good night, man. This is the Red Dragon saying, hey, peace, brothers, and stay safe.